Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about something that fell through a little while ago. This proposal, it would have added presidential elections into this org United We Stand. I feel like it's interesting to hypothesize who would have been able to do well in these elections. So let's just start off with discussing this amendment, the Con-Pres amendment. They wanted us to have a Congress with two sides to it, House of Representatives and Senate, like the United States. But here's where it gets interesting. This is where they have the representatives right here. These clubs and the amount of members. So at the moment, let me check this out on Brawl Stars. At the moment, United Nexus, which is my club, has 90 to 99 members, which means we would have 3 representatives, and 1,600 to 1,079. So we would have 11 representatives and 2 senators, which would mean we have 13 electoral votes in an election. Let's write that down. 13 electoral votes. United Mystic, which is the newest club in the org, has 37 members, which would mean they have 1 representative on this category, and they have 229,000 trophies, which means they would have 2 representatives in total, plus 2 senators means 4 electoral votes in a UWS presidential election. United Delta, our third club, has 57 members and 647,000 club trophies. That gives them 3 representatives in this category and just barely 2 in this category. I'll round up and give them 5. So that would mean they have 5 representatives and 2 senators, which means 7 electoral votes. And the last club, United Inferno, is probably the second most powerful club now. It has 100 members at the moment and 871,000 club trophies. That gives them 4 representatives plus 3 representatives, which is 7, and 2 senators, which is 9 electoral votes. Now let's get to the presidential stuff right here. So, in theory, if this was to happen, they would have 17, 24, 33 electoral votes, which would mean 17 is the majority to win. All you would need is Nexus and Mystic for a win in the election. Or, if you gained Mystic and Delta, if you gained Inferno and Delta, you would still not have enough electoral votes to win. United Mystic is really the decider here. You could get Nexus, you could target Nexus really hard and just give those to the other people, but as long as whoever really gets Mystic is going to win these kinds of elections. So we could do some simulations on people in our board of directors right here. I lead United Nexus. Brandon X95 leads United Mystic. Zaza Tony, this person, or Little Tony right here, leads United Delta. And who's it? Black Belt 9 leads United Inferno. So let's start off by doing Elite X, who is the leader of the organization, the former United We Stand club. He really has a presence in all of the clubs, but he needs to work on his Nexus relationship with the Nexus members. If Elite X were to run against someone like me, who I have obviously a big influence in United Nexus because I'm the leader there, I feel like he would be able to take all 3 except for United Nexus. But here's a real thing. He's gonna have to really go for Mystic, because Mystic is basically like my Nexus's baby. I know that's weird, but the whole board of directors is directly from me, most of the people, and I feel like Elite X will be able to take it easy from me, but if I really target that area, it'll be tough. But I do think he'll be able to win 20-13 in an election and against me. 20 electoral votes to 13. Next, we could do Brandon X95 versus Black Belt 9. So Black Belt, he's the leader of United Inferno, so he'll easily be able to grab United Inferno like with no problem. If you're the leader of a club, you basically have those people going for you. And yes, Brandon is the leader of United Mystic, so it'll be immediately 9-4 for Black Belt. Those are just kind of lockdown strongholds for those two candidates. But United Delta, I can really see going for Black Belt, and high chance of Nexus going for Black Belt too, just because he's higher up, more people know about him. But I mean, Brandon was in Nexus for a while, so if the older voters come out and show their support for Brandon, he can take the election 17-16. But there's a high chance Black Belt could easily win 30-3 if he just manages to get Nexus to vote for him. Let's do me versus Elite X. Oh no, we did me versus Elite X already. Let's do Black Belt 9 versus Elite X. I do believe that Elite X will be able to take United Delta, because Delta has the most like original United We Stand members in it that kind of merged into Delta. So Elite X will have 7, Black Belt will have 9, and the other two clubs will probably sway towards Elite X in the long run. But it's possible he could, like, if he campaigns strong in those clubs and really says what those club members want to hear, he could probably win. But if it really came down to it, I feel like Elite X would be able to beat him 24-9, which is pretty big. Nexus really makes up most of the election here. If you're able to somehow win Nexus, you're in the spot for winning the election. I'll do me versus Black Belt 9 now. So I would take Nexus, he would take Inferno, obviously, so it'll be 13-9. I feel like just because I lead the club with the most electoral votes theoretically, I would actually, and Mystic is kind of like Nexus descendants, if you want to say that. So just because of the way the electorals thing would be set up in this amendment, I would probably actually win 17-16. But I don't believe, just because I lead Nexus, he would, if this was actually fair, he should beat me probably by like 20-13 or 22-10 or 22-11, somewhere around that. But just because Mystic really probably sways in my favor most of the time, I will probably end up winning 17-16. Let's do one more before we head off for the day. Let's do Little Tony versus Brandon X95. That sounds a little fair, that matchup. So Little Tony would easily be able to take the 7 electoral votes from his own club, United Delta. Brandon would be able to take his 4 electoral votes from United Mystic. It really depends. I do believe that just because people don't really know who Little Tony is in a lot of other clubs, he's really been like an OG, not really exploring the outskirts of the org or places aside from his club. I feel like just because Brandon was previously in Nexus, Nexus would go for Brandon, and most likely Inferno would probably go for Brandon, but there's a high chance it'll go for Tony. It could go either way here. It could probably go 17-16 or 26-7 for Brandon, but I do give Brandon the upper hand in that category. Alright guys, see you later. This was a pretty interesting video to make, just seeing really how united we stand possible elections could go. I mean, this is all just like subject to, as long if it really matters on their campaign strategies, which I can't really predict. I'm just kind of predicting, like, if there was to be an election today, who would they vote for? Yeah, that's about it for this pretty long video actually. See you guys later.